Well, coming to you today from Clinton, Iowa. Um, Go ahead and see if you can pronounce the Greek for Acts 2:41 to 42. And here's my shot. Hoi men un, apodexamenoi ton logon autou, ebaptistesan, kai prosetethesan, ente hemera ekene, sukai hosai triskiliai. 42. Esan de proskarteruntes te didache ton apostolon kai te koinonia te classe tu artu kai R2D2 kai tais prostukais. Okay, see if you can translate it. And here's my shot. Therefore, procrastinator, a postpositive. On the one hand, another procrastinator, postpositive. Therefore, on the one hand, the having received ones, the ones who had received the word of him, were baptized. When you have an aorist participle and an aorist main verb, I think aorist, had. So the ones who had. This is a substantive participle, which is we have to come up with a noun. Watch me pull a rabbit out of a hat. Ones, the ones who received. So I go through three stages. First, you have the kind of rated G translation, which is the ing translation. So for the aorist active, it's actually technically aorist middle. Men are passive, men are or middle, but it's deponent, apodekami. So I'm going to translate it actively. So the way you translate an aorist active participle, starter translation, rated G translation, is having received. Now, the next question is if it has the article, add a who or a what. So it has an article. I'm going to go with who. Though the having received, the who having received, you can't even stay there. So we have to the ones have to come up with a noun because there's no noun there, so substantive. The ones who having received can't stay there. So the third stage translation is where I iron it out. The ones who had received. Aorist, had. The ones who had received. Okay. Therefore, on the one hand, the ones who had received his word, they were baptized. Theta, eta, aorist passive, augment, aorist. Ason is a third plural. Okay. So it's an aorist passive indicative third plural from baptizo. They were baptized. Therefore, the ones who had received his word were baptized, and they were added. There were added, maybe. This is, again, aorist passive, is it? Yes, aorist passive, it is. Third plural. There were added on the day that, demonstrative pronoun, there were added on that day souls about 3,000. About 3,000 people, not souls in the sense of, oh, look at the souls. Put on your special soul glasses. But persons, about 3,000 persons. We'll talk about this one in a moment. 42, they were procrastinator, and they were holding fast. This is a periphrastic construction, form of the verb to be and a participle. My aunt is an active participle. And they were holding fast to the teaching of the apostles and to fellowship, to the breaking of bread, and to the prayers. Okay. Now to go a little deeper. I've already done this, already talked about it. We'll have the parsing on the next one. The ones on the one hand, therefore, who received the word of him were baptized, and they were added on the day that about as about 3,000 souls. Verse 42, and they were holding fast to the teaching of the apostles and to the fellowship, breaking of bread, and to the prayers. Okay. Second time. So what are the parsings here? I've already talked a little bit about this, but so a C is the key to a hidden sigma. So we have a hidden sigma alpha. This is aorist. Men are passive or middle. I determined it was middle deponent because the word is apodekomai. It's deponent. This word is deponent. And so I translated it actively, having received. Middle in form, because if it was passive, aorist passive, it would have a theta, going on. Participle nominative masculine plural, because oi is a nominative masculine plural ending, one of the early endings you learn in Greek. Okay, theta eta tells me it's aorist passive. Son tells me it's third plural. It's indicative. There's the augment. Wouldn't have an augment if it wasn't indicative. Baptizo. Bam. Okay, this is a hard one. It is aorist passive, the theta eta. It is third person plural, like the son and the indicative. But here's what's going on. I don't know if you remember, I did a video on this a couple days ago, I believe it was, maybe whenever I did the tithemi. What happens is in the aorist passive is, instead of it being prosthethethon, the theta that should have been here, the theta epsilon is actually the stem of tithemi. The theta in the stem downgraded to a tau. It went from th with the teeth to t with the teeth. And so that's what's happening there. But you could parse it pretty well without knowing. You could parse it just from the thesan. I mean, what do I know from the thesan? The thesan tells me it's aorist passive indicative third plural, without even knowing what came before it. This is the augment right there. Okay, this is pretty easy. My aunt is an active participle. S is a nominative masculine plural participle ending, or third declension ending. A little crash here because it's a contract verb, pros cartureo. The epsilon crashes with the omicron of aunt, and we get a, ooh, what a crash. But all the letters of the present stem are represented, and so it is present. And that is our video for this next step of the journey. More tomorrow, Lord willing, Deo Valente.